So it's all for play for still.
I think so. Do you want to bet against us?
Good evening, night. I don't know what way to describe 10:30. I'm going to say good evening, everybody, and welcome to For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast. And For the Love of Paul McGrath podcast, I've been looking forward to doing since we lost against Manchester United, just because I think it's always better to be playing semi-meaningful football than it is to be wallowing and feeling sorry for ourselves. And Jesus, have I done a lot of feeling sorry for myself since that Manchester United game. But today is the day that I suppose really, I won't say today is the day that we get full proper, preseason football for this the Aston Villa first 11, but it's going to be something more that's going to be kind of how will I put it? It's going to be approaching a bit more of normality. I think I don't see any way that we play obviously our first 11 from the start here, but this is good opposition. EINTRACHT FRANKFURT. The first outing of our new home shirt is going to be in this game as well. And I'm very, very hopeful if I think they actually might be moving towards the concourse in the actual stadium now, but I'm hoping to have somebody joining me from the game today, from Kentucky, from Louisville. Kev Hunter, we've been lucky enough to know quite a lot of North American Aston Villa fans, and we've been lucky to have the guys on with us before. So I'm hoping that Kev will be able to join us for that later on, I think. So I'm just trying to actually see if he's online at the moment, see if I can get him in. Obviously internet issues and stuff like that, but if we can get him in, we can. So Villainous Bounty asks, so the game is on tonight and not tomorrow night. Game is on at 12 o'clock tonight. So like midnight tonight. So yes, tomorrow morning, if you want to be technical about it. It is on. Yeah, so I said I'd come on a bit earlier and do I suppose I wanted to kind of chat. There's been a lot that's happened recently since I came on the JD Canvo podcast. We found out the Boubacar Kamara signed a 5-year deal. And I think that was worth a small bit of time of discussion, because definitely in the top 4 most important players for Aston Villa Football Club at the moment is Boubacar Kamara. So great to get him tied down on a 5-year deal. It seems that his wages were heavily increased as well. So hopefully that will keep the Wolves from the door for another year or two anyway with Boubacar Kamara. But look, we know with every single one of all of our players, it's going to be a case whereby our success will keep them at the club. Wages won't keep them at the club, because you can go to almost any club now and get paid wages. The way money is. I have a very, I'm not going to say very depressing, but I have a very kind of irrefutable podcast to come up next week. Well, actually it won't be next week because I'm going on holidays for a week next week. But I will still be able to do podcasting. I just won't be able to have the production that I need to do for this podcast I'm wanting to do. But with regards to wages, I think it's important that, look, we pay the players that we have what they're worth, and then hope our success, then if we keep our success in the field, that will keep our top players at the club. Because now with the introduction of Saudi, with the introduction of just essentially a lot of teams in the Premier League now have money to spend. And it's a case that success is going to dictate where we go as a team and what our players do and what players stay with us and what players become legends for our club. And I think that's okay as well. That's just the nature of the beast at the moment. We will see a small bit more turnover, but we don't have to worry about Boubacar Kamara being part of the turnover just yet, which I think is absolutely fantastic. Yeah, Kev is going to be joining us in a moment. Hopefully, if he can get on. Other news, I suppose, as well, is that there's this merry-go-round of semantics of reporting of Ollie Watkins. Apparently, there was a bid, or there was exploratory talks for Ollie Watkins, and Villa told him go shove it. There is no way Ollie Watkins is being sold this offseason. Not a sausage's chance on my plate is Ollie Watkins being sold this offseason. I've been trying to say it for ages. I just don't think the Villa are going to sell him when they don't have any backup option. And if Aston Villa do sell him, I don't know where the backup option is coming from. Because now when you've got Alexander Isak looking like he's probably going to either Liverpool or he's going to go to Saudi, Liverpool don't really need another striker, but opportunity cost might get them to purchase him, which is just a fantastic position to be in. Newcastle are going to go balls to the wall and try and get their striker. There's other Premier League teams that are looking to get strikers as well. So it's very much a case whereby I just think that the horse is bolted in the actual number one prime striker market. People aren't going to want to hear people will say, "Oh, we send him, we buy Benjamin Sesko or someone like that." Just don't see it happening. Like it to me, it seems like not number one, not a Monchi move, and number two, not a Unai Emery move. To do that, so we'll see where the cards fall on that one. And obviously then, John, there's this back and forth with Emi Martinez. Was there a loan bid? If there was a loan bid went in for Manchester United, if that is true, Villa should file a grievance with the Premier League over that, because that is as blatant a tapping up situation as ever you will have. The best goalkeeper in the world to offer to take him on loan when Villa have never kind of intimated that they wanted to that he was an issue or anything like that they wanted to loan him out. Absolute madness. I'm actually kind of maybe about 30% serious in that. You know, that's pretty much bollocks acting and tapping up a player if you are bidding for him on loan just so that you could potentially have an opportunity to speak to the player. It's nonsense. Or to legitimize your speaking to the player. Oh, I missed the guys jumped in there and I completely didn't spot them. Oh, here we are. We have two men joining us from. They're the gentlemen. They're in the Are you in the concourse already, or no? You're still outside in the pub. You haven't
we're still in the pub right now, so we're about to head on over in about maybe 30 minutes or so.
Men after my own heart. I'd love to be in a pub.
It has been very, 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 very heavy.
I was going to say, well, considering I didn't point it out to you, but you misspelled the word "ready" in the message you sent me.
I looked at that. I was like, Jesus! Oh, here we go, Motley Crew. Oh, we live on the podcast, boys. We got the crew. All right,
we've got more. Hello. There's more men in the house. Hello, gentlemen.
Yeah. Who's that? Up the villa. Your mom. Yeah. Oh, McGrath. Hello.
Hello, guys. Hello, gents. How are we doing?
All right. How are you doing?
Greetings from Ireland.
Yeah. Greetings from Ireland. Oh, yeah. Yeah. So, we're about to head on in about, about 20, 30 minutes or so. Hold on here. I'll give you, No. I jump in as well. Hold on. Simon. Oh, is that my wife?
I'm loving seeing this. I'd love to be there.
Love of Paul McGrath. All right, buddy.
Afternoon.
Neil, how you doing?
How are you doing, lads?
Good.
Crowd out.
Hi, boys. How's it going? Villa. Neil from the Villa podcast.
This is deadly. Guys, is there a huge crowd out there, Kev?
There's about how many of us? Probably about 100 here.
100 there.
Hey, Neil. Love your podcast.
How are we keeping? Thanks very much.
What's up, Villa?
Here, it's been unbelievable. Like we genuinely have only had like a couple of bottles of water.
I know, I'd imagine so. Yeah. That would be your style, all right.
Alcoholic water. Alcoholic water is right, mate. No, good crack, mate. It's been brilliant.
I saw John Toley. We walk around.
We chatted to John earlier on. Yeah, John says to tell you guys hi.
He's a good man, John Townley. He's a good man. If only he could just sign a couple of players for us or manufacture a couple of signings, that'd be brilliant.
Do you know what, Neil? Do you know it'd be better? Like I fucking tell you, like come over, like.
I know I've been trying to come over, but
I know you're fucking stag doing the fucking
I keep on having kids, Kev, and then I get tight.
I know.
I
I have another one on the way, so it's fucking right.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah,
I hope you
cheers,
didn't
man,
break
thank you.
news there. I hope everybody at home knows that.
Well, you knew it.
Yeah, we all knew. Yeah.
They all knew. So
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, it's been fucking class, mate. Sound as fuck. Like, Yam. Do you want to jump in?
Yeah. So
Like, this is the guy that flew from Birmingham. Come in.
now we have so many people over here that have flown in, and we just it's a good time. It's just everybody at the bar.
This is the man I met in Bruges. He was fucking hammered.
Last time an Irishman met someone in Bruges, they made a film about it.
Oh, boys.
Up the villa. And water guns are out.
Water guns are out. That's it, mate.
Yeah.
Um,
I asked you this, but I can't remember I asked you this in the message, but I can't remember. Did the club put anything on for the Louisville thing? Are they putting anything on in any of the events or any of the games? The preseason.
no, and that was the one thing that we're like a bit pissed off about. They didn't do any like setup or anything. They were just fucking didn't do anything for us, but it's grand though. Yes.
Yeah. It's the third year in a row.
Flying in on Thursday was a bad idea, though. I'll tell you that.
I know. I was just about to say it.
Get the way to fuck you wankers.
Did Rick Leon get over? Is Rick over any
Tell
rest
the
of the guys
McPhee story. Last night, tell the McPhee story.
Well, McPhee. Oh no, yeah, we got in late, and McPhee was at the one of the Irish bars over here. It was really nice guy, and I'm getting sprayed in the face by the water. Can't go anywhere with these guys, I swear.
No.
I mean, it's boiling over here, so it's actually kind of nice.
It's like proper. It's like 35.
I don't know how to
I actually checked. I checked there. There's definitely going to be water breaks today, like because it's
I know I am. I'm sure I am. I'm gonna till I die.
Excellent. No, you're getting squirted. You deserve that.
I know. Yeah. But here, anyway, listen, fucking love you to pieces, man.
Brilliant stuff. Great to chat to you guys. Great to see everybody there in good spirits.
Yeah, everyone say hello.
Hey. All the best. See ya, up the villa.
Up the villa.
You and Patty need to come over next time.
Yeah.
Exactly. All I need to do is just get my put two kids up for adoption. Fine, I'll be over and
bring them along with
for the next game.
For adoption, I'm gonna do the exact same thing.
That's all I need to do.
You fucker, stop that.
Great kids.
Right. See you later, mate. All the best.
Good
Take
chat to
care.
you. Mind
Take care,
yourselves.
mate. All the best.
Bye-bye. That is, I just had the guys are having the time of their lives, obviously, over there. As Kev said there, he flew in on. Kev's living in Florida. He flew in obviously he's from Northern Ireland, and originally he was living over in Florida. Flew in on Thursday and just been basically having a ball, spreading the Aston Villa gospel over in the United States with all the rest of the guys, and that is it's fantastic to see. And I love living vicariously through anybody who follows the Villa away, or even who follows the Villa at home, because as you guys know who watch the podcast, I don't get to the games as much as I would like to do. But no, it's great to see that there's so many Villa fans over there, and I look out for the boys on because they do have some nice flags. I look out for those flags in the broadcast today of the game. But yeah, we're coming close, I suppose, to when the teams will be announced. I just realized I don't have Twitter open at all. I better do that. There we go. So we're coming close. But just going back to what I was talking about there, I suppose the lack of activity. While I'm not surprised, I am, like everybody else, a bit itchy. I'm a bit itchy for a small bit of action from a transfer point of view at the moment, whether it's players in or players out, because I think we need to do both. I'm just itchy to kind of get the squad slightly freshened up a small bit. Now, that's not to say that it won't be freshened up due to players breaking through that we had on the team previously, making that breakthrough. I don't know. Obviously, I'm not a fortune teller. I don't ever claim to be. And somebody I saw in the comments there asked, was Epicuna Redmond on the trip over? Well, you know what? We're going to find out in about 30 minutes time when the team sheet comes out. But it's those types of players that they're bringing the excitement, I think, for a lot of this preseason. The Redmonds, the Ishkans, those types of guys are bringing the excitement. But I think also for me, what's bringing the excitement is guys like Daniel Mallon. Like, what does he become on this preseason? What do we get to see from him? Ian Matson, has he? He does need to improve his defending. And I know it's early doors for him, but he's played a lot at a high level, and maybe he never is that real defensive fullback. Obviously, the rumors are out and about that Luca Dean is going to sign a new contract. Maybe that kind of or he's going to be offered a new contract anyway. Maybe that kind of tells us what we need to know from the point of view of, do they want a more conservative fullback and this other maybe more marauding wing back that they could play in games as well, or even play one in front of the other. I don't know what the situation is there, but it's just there's a lot of chess pieces that could still be moved in different directions here in this team. And I think sometimes when we look at the names and we go, yeah, that guy was on the team last year, maybe he wasn't utilized in such a way that the team wanted to. Maybe like an Amadou Onana, or as I say, a Malin, guys who the season was stop-start for them when they came into the team, and same with Matson as well. Again, though, I do want some fresh faces. I think that there's fresh faces obviously needed in the striking department. And I do think we need a new centre half. If there is an awful lot, if there is anything in the JD Canvo piece as well, his Toulouse team lost 7-0 to... I've just completely forgotten who they lost 7-0 to. But they lost 7-0 to somebody in a preseason friendly today. And he did play the first half where they conceded 5. But obviously I didn't see it. I actually went to look for footage to see was footage going to be uploaded, but it's not going to be uploaded on my scouting software, so I won't get to see that. But I would imagine it was just a run out anyway. But if there is something in that, obviously he comes in as backup. We don't really get to see him in the first team, and I think that's what we want. I think we want to kind of push on and see that freshness in players that we can play in the first team. But then, as I said, that's the devil on this side of the shoulder. The angel on the other side is saying, well, those guys that are going to freshen up the team are probably already in the squad, and they're going to be the guys that were brought in last year that are more comfortable with the way of play, more comfortable with the setup, and they're going to push other people out of the team. And you can only hope that happens in that instance. You really can. And it will take like five games for us to actually realize what's going on there, if that is the kind of the 4D chess that we are going to play with the squad manipulation, and I suppose the squad evolution as well. So we can only really see what happens there. For me, as I said, yeah, I don't know what I said it there previously. Like I definitely think there's going to be attacking options added to the squad. It kind of feels like there just has to be. You have to kind of replace Rashford. You have to replace Asensio, or you have to at least replace one of the two, and obviously another centre half is needed as well. I'm going to also, in my mind, I've put to bed Emi Martinez moving. I know I mentioned about the loan move to Manchester United. I think I've put to bed Emi Martinez moving. A lot of people messaged me and DM me about Chevalier potentially on his way to PSG. I don't think that I think Villa are comfortable with Emi Martinez staying at the club. I think they are. I think there's a comfortability there. But obviously the only thing I've got to go on that is, if PSG are signing Donnarumma is moving on. Donnarumma then becomes the direct competition for clubs who are trying to sign Emi Martinez. So do Manchester United sign a Donnarumma then instead? So I think it's actually, in a way, it's a bad thing for Aston Villa if Chevalier goes, because we were obviously linked so heavily with him and he was seen as the guy we wanted to replace. But if he goes to PSG, it opens up the other door of, you have Donnarumma, you have he becomes the direct competition, because he's probably the only other goalkeeper on the market currently at the moment that is of the caliber of Emi Martinez. And it gives teams it gives the Manchester United to this world an option to kind of, weigh one up against the other and an escape plan, I suppose, because I would imagine the club are going to be saying no to Emi Martinez moves. And I would imagine, if all is true, Emi Martinez only wants to move within the Premier League. So if that rules out of Manchester United, if they do go for Donnarumma, and it just seems it seems more of a Man United thing to do to get Donnarumma. I don't know why. I've got absolutely no. It's just, it seems more right in my head. It could be the blind claret and blue bias that I often bring to conversations, but it just seems more and more plausible that Manchester United would go for Donnarumma if he became available. And the reason I would say that is because just coming off winning a Champions League, or just coming off brilliant Champions League season, and winning the Champions League, and he's young, he's someone that Ineos would look at as being a catalyst maybe to bring in more younger players of that caliber into the club. It would be seen as a coup. Either of the two goalkeepers would be seen as a coup. But you see, Manchester United, and I think sometimes they've tripped themselves up. And yes, I know I'm doing an awful lot of talking about Manchester United. I think Manchester United have tripped themselves up by trying to keep loads of people happy over the last 5 or 6 years, or over the last 10 years, since 13 years, whatever, since Ferguson retired. And they've been very much trying to cater to a global fan base that need to be spoiled with a big name all the time, like the Rafael Varans who came in, even signing Falcao back in the day, signing Angel Di Maria, Juan Mata. They were decent signings, they were good signings, don't get me wrong, but what was the return on investment in those guys? It was pretty minimal. And I think that they've catered to that worldwide image, as opposed to, and I think actually, interestingly, that you can do both. You can have, again, I think Liverpool have done it brilliantly. They've had this worldwide marketing image that they've created pretty much over the last 6-7 years during the Klopp era. Yet they've kept their philosophy, and they've kept their they've kept their philosophy, and they've kept their kind of their ethos very kind of localized. And they've not really, yes, obviously they don't have a team full of Liverpudlians, but they've kind of catered more to the fans in their backyard from the point of view of the philosophy they've got with regards to their signings. They've got some bloody brilliant signings, don't get me wrong, but they've kept spiritual leaders when they needed to be kept. They've gotten rid of guys at the right time, and when they've gotten rid of guys over the last couple of years, when they've gotten rid of guys, they've brought people in that have gone on to be as good or better. And I think that's very much a Liverpool way of old. So what I'm saying is, Liverpool fans in their 40s, Liverpool fans in their 50s will remember them doing that when they were, when they were coming off the back of the Kenny Dalglish days, and even when they had great strikers of yore like Ian Rush. They went from Ian Rush to Robbie Fowler to Michael Owen. So they had a conveyor belt of strikers, and I don't think Liverpool fans care where that conveyor belt of goals and strikers come from, and that's what that's what they've developed. I think Manchester United obviously strayed away from that. I think it probably all started with the Juan Sebastian Varane types of signings that they made, but obviously that's completely detached from what they're doing now, or what they've done over the last 10 or 11 years, because they did go on to have success with that team. With that type of signing when Sir Alex was there. But anyway, it's not my job to try and legislate what happens at Manchester United. They're all able to make their own unique mistakes there in that boardroom. And just with regards to the Emi Martinez piece, in my mind, I've consigned myself to not consigned myself, because that makes it sound bad. I've kind of convinced myself that he's staying. But then again, I know I always look at the glass and I go, oh yes, I've got another bit left in it. And some people go, my glass is nearly dry. So I completely understand. I know my frailties in my over-optimistic sense. Right. Yeah, someone's telling me shut up about Manchester United. I'm talking about Emi Martinez in the Emi Martinez and Watkins situation. I'm filling time essentially until the team sheet comes out, lads, because I expected Kevin Wise to stay on a bit longer, but obviously they've got drinking to do, and I would never keep a man from his point. ever. Let's come to some of the comments. Bubblegum asked, did everybody go to bed? I planned on having a little bit of a cat nap there about an hour ago, but I didn't get a chance to, so I'll just power through, I think, as well, which isn't going to be great because my young fella woke up at 4:45 this morning, and I have a funny feeling he's going to do the same tomorrow morning, so it'll be a 2-hour jobby for sleep tonight, which isn't great considering I'm working tomorrow, but these are the things we do. Pat, oh, you're in the pub with Nina watching this, Patrick. I thought they were going to show in the game at 12 o'clock. I was going to say, that's what I love to hear. We've captured Nina. Maybe they will. Maybe they'll have a lock-in. They'll put it on for you. That would be fantastic. Where else are we? I'll catch another couple of comments there. Owen asks, would it be hyperbolic to suggest that with Kamara and Yuri, we have one of the top 5 or 6 midfield player in European football? Yeah, but I'm all for it. I think it is hyperbolic to say it, to say that, but I'm here for it. Like they're a cracking pair at that double pivot position. So like, beauty's in the eye of the beholder, and I certainly find the beauty in that partnership. So absolutely, I've no problem with anybody saying that. None whatsoever. Jake says he's looking forward to tonight. Might be crap game, might be a bit disappointed, but it's Villa and we are back. I am too. I'm really looking forward to this. I'm just looking forward to football, you know, getting back watching Aston Villa football again. Not too concerned with the result, but what I want to see is I just want to see a bit of cohesion. I want to see if we're playing 3 at the back. I just want some bit of excitement to be brought by us. Like the most exciting thing that's happened to me in the off season has been I got my Aston Villa wrestling belt, which was, yes, I know, is an absolutely crazy purchase. I put it this way, I had a very, very good weekend. Please don't bet anybody if it's not your thing, and only bet what you can afford. But I had a crazy bet on GAA, on our local sport here in Ireland, and I went, you know what? After we paid off the wedding and everything like that, I said, you know what? Got to treat myself to something, and I don't know why, but I bought a Aston Villa wrestling belt. I thought it'd be cool, and then I've nowhere to put it, and I can't wear it, and nobody's allowed to tell my my better half how much it cost, because there might be no more podcast after that. There might be an obituary instead of a podcast if she was ever to find out. But that's the only real bit of excitement that we've had Villa-wise, I think, this off season. We don't have a team sheet either just yet. No, nothing just yet. More comments, please. More comments. Where are we? Is Harvey Elliott still linked with someone only technical? To be honest with you, I never even we did a podcast about a week and a half ago, and somebody was messaging in going, Harvey Elliott. I think it was probably just an awful lot of journalists putting 2 and 2 together with regards to the fact that they'd just come off the European 21s victory. I don't know. I still don't know what to make of Harvey Elliott. I'm going to be honest. I don't know what to make of Harvey Elliott in the over a 38 game season, because we've never seen it. Incredibly talented footballer, but you know, I haven't done a piece on him. Obviously, his plus points are there for everybody to see. You know, it's a bit patronizing to talk about how good he is with his feet, how good he's at moving the ball and his quickness and stuff like that. I haven't seen an awful lot of him to be able to talk about his tactical fits and stuff like that. But yeah, would be interesting. Somebody like a right-sided player, or somebody who can play across that 3 behind Watkins, I think is as my picture falls down, is needed. So we'll see if anything concrete comes from that. But I do think that the transfer market will probably, I think it could be another week before it really starts to kick into gear. I think they're waiting for the big striker signings to be done. I think the Alexander Isak piece is going to stifle the market a small bit. The Gorkes piece has been done at the moment. And I think the Isak transfer might stifle the big purchases in the market, because that's going to be a hell of a lot of money moving from somewhere to Newcastle. And I think a lot of, like, specifically for strikers, I think a lot of strikers are going to go, I'm sitting here and I'm waiting until Newcastle get their bag of cash so that I can see what I can get from them. And it's going to become another domino that's going to need to fall. Where else are we? Carrie says Louisville is the most expensive horse race in our country. Oh yeah, the Kentucky Derby, absolutely. I've never been to Kentucky. I tell a lie. I've been to Cincinnati, which is essentially in Kentucky. Yeah, I think it's the same. Well, I know it's still in Ohio, but being a Browns fan, they are the team from Kentucky, as far as I'm concerned. Where are we going to here now? We won't have a team. We won't have. Oh, George is saying we won't have a team. We're going to lose all our players and not buy any. Okay, we'll see if that happens. Boom. Spud says, "Good to see you, Spud, watching from down in." Where are you again, Spud? I think you mentioned there. Is it Perth? I can never remember where you are, Spud. I can never remember. I always have Brisbane in the back of my mind, but I think it is Perth. Pep often gets accused of being a checkbook manager, and if Malin, Matson, and Onana all have a Yuri-style uplift, and look, you see, that's why I mentioned it. You're bang on the money there. You're bang on the money. It's not sexy for the players to evolve within our team, but none of us were complaining when Yuri Tielemans did it last year, and it really was an instance whereby we didn't know. Well, we were all kind of captivated by Rodgers at the start of the season, and we were going, geez, you know what? Yuri Tielemans didn't have a bad game at all. And then it was a case where you know what? Yuri Tielemans has put together 2 or 3 good games together. And then after 10 games, it was like, Yuri Tielemans is the best midfielder in the Premier League. So I'm hoping that we get that again from somebody this year. The big problem, though, is that some of the positions that we're looking to get that from, in Malin, Matson, and Onana, really, for me, there's a backlog. There's a backlog there, unless the formation has changed. If we saw a change of formation, we might go it might spark things up and create openings for people again, as I say. But yeah, look, who is going to be that player that's going to take the step forward? If there is a player that goes and takes the step forward this year as well. Where else are we? And Spud makes another good point as well. Like, you know, we talk about young talents as well there, like Bogard, Garcia as well. Like, if Aston Villa were linked to it again and signed Garcia again this offseason, like, so if we hadn't signed him in January and signed him this offseason, and let's just say we had Nedeljkovic that we kept last year, he didn't get much of a game, and then we signed Garcia out of nowhere, and that was our right back signing for this year. And I know that this is all ifs and buts and candy and nuts and everything like that, but I think we'd feel much better about that right back position, because it still is a problem area. You know, it still is. And what is going to happen there? Maybe the change of formation unlocks one of those 2 players there. It's going to be a big mystery box, that position. I think because we don't know what way the formation is going to go, and it's both of the full back positions, I think, need to be probably. I don't even think, maybe not even freshened up by. They need to be freshened up some way, whether it's by tactical changes, if we can, or by, you know, potential personnel changes if we can afford it. But again, it's going to be asset allocation again. It's going to be asset allocation. It's going to be huge. Are we going to get a team here at all, lads? I don't know. Are we going to get a team? Maybe my internet is clapped out. I don't know. Can anyone else see a team? Is there any team online? Let me see if I can find it. Villa haven't announced their team yet. Anyway. Maybe they're gone back to announcing it 50 minutes before. Didn't they used to that before? 50 minutes. There's no lineups either for either team on FootMob. Let me see who scored. Who scored line of projected lineup. Sofa score. Let's see if there's anything on that. I just feel like I've missed the team announcement, but I probably haven't. Oh, Jesus, that's the one thing with nothing there. Interesting. Sorry, this isn't great podcasting now because I don't have anybody to fill. Where are my fixtures? Okay, let's see. Do we have any lineups? No lineup there yet. Just haven't announced any lineups yet. I'll keep yammering on anyway. If we don't have any lineups by 25 past, I suppose we'll pack it in. That's if I can keep on finding topics to talk about between now and then. So get your comments in there. I wish I could open up the phones. Reason I can't open the phones, forgot to bring all the connections for live phone in. Would have been a perfect time to do it. But they're all inside in the house, and I can't run in now because I will wake up all my children if I do that. So pop any comments that you have in the chat room there, and we'll try. I'll try and get to as many of them as I possibly can. Dennis White is just home from Rhodes, and he's got the rats. I actually envy you. I'd love to be in that position, Dennis. I'm after sunny Mayo for the well, it won't be sunny after you guys have often, if anyone follows me on Twitter, you'd have seen I've put up pictures of Croagh there from Old Head. So I'm going there to the edge of the world. Lovely place to kind of detox sometimes from social media and everything like that. So it's nice little tranquil place off there for the next week. And then I'm off to the zoo and hopefully get to meet our good old mate Brendan Walsh, big Villa fan, works above in Dublin Zoo. I'm off there then the week, this day next week. So I'll go for the next week. It will be, but I will do podcasts. I'll be bringing most of my podcasts and stuff with me anyway, so it'll be great. If anything breaks, we'll still be there. Where else are we? Luke, great question. Simple question. Sometimes the simple questions are the great ones. I think we'll make more than one loan signing because of, and not because of PSR, because of SCR, because I think more so from a squad cost ratio as well. Because I've been doing a lot of research. I don't understand football finances. And I think I've got a cursory understanding of it, but I don't understand the ins and outs of it. I don't understand money at all. I don't know how it works, how to make it work for me. I don't know how it works for, go figure, I bought a bloody wrestling belt with Aston Villa's crest on the front of it. I must say it's an incredible product. That belt it's a ton weight. Well, when I say it's a ton weight, it's probably about 2.5 kgs weight. Quality product, but the use for it, I don't know what I will have. I only for the fact that I lived out a childhood dream of having a wrestling belt. But getting back to football finances, I've been trying to understand SCR a small bit more. And SCR obviously encompasses like one of the big things that we'll see is that it's all, everything is supposed done in a ratio, which you guys obviously know. But there's a common misconception out there at the moment that the ratio is your ratio of your wages to your turnover, but it's not just your wages; it includes transfer fees and agents' fees as well. Now there are obviously deductibles from those that you can have that are deducted, but it's quite complex. And I suppose really, how does the UEFA one work towards what the Premier League one would be? Will we still have the spectre of PSR hanging in the background? Will there still be some sort of PSR in the background where you can only go X amount over? There's still a lot of unwritten caveats in the Premier League version of what SCR anyway is, and you know it'd be too rational to have joined up thinking for the Premier League just to go, yeah, we're adopting the exact same model as UEFA, so there's no messing around. But they will make it as convoluted as possible because they just can't get out of their own way. So to answer your question, Luke, if we can supplement the team, and again, I'm not averse to loan signings. Don't think I ever look. Obviously, in a perfect world, we would sign everybody permanently. I completely understand that, but you know, once again, for asset allocation within this squad, within this balance sheet, which we have to feckin' talk about all the time, which is pissing me off. Loans could be the way forward because you're paying a loan fee, yes, but it's probably only like it's probably going to be a percentage of what you were going to be paying upfront for the player anyway in an installment. But also, I think what's going to happen is teams are going to be going to want to get rid of players, and I think SCR and PSR are going to really put the power in the player's hands. A player can say, "I'm not going anywhere. No, not going anywhere. No," and they can hold out and they can wait for their moves. And I think when you see with the likes of, I think when like even the bigger teams, because of their inflated wages, and that's the spoiler alert, that's what my reality podcast is that I'm going to do, hopefully maybe do during the week if I can put everything together while I'm on holidays, I'll do it. Their inflated wage bill still dwarfs ours, and they still need to. And when I talk about that, I'm talking about the PSGs. I'm talking about the that stratosphere of spending. So I think what will happen is they'll be more okay with letting players go on loan. I think we're going to see the phenomenon of players signing on 2-year loans, like we see in Italy, like we see in Spain. I think the loan market potentially could explode because of SCR and SCR in European football now that's gone down to 75%, isn't it? And now the introduction of it in the Premier League as well. Now, obviously, the loans between Premier League clubs may not be as plentiful, but loans from the continent in, I think we could see loans becoming a more plentiful way of working the transfer market in a lot of ways. But obviously, look, I'm the same as everyone. Sign them permanently and control their rights and have have the option to, like, if you are purchasing anyone on loan, I hope you've got the option to sign them permanently. But watch out for the 2-year loan. I've always wondered why it's never came into British football like it has in the continent. I wonder will stuff start to happen, about potentially, and I know there are rules in the Premier League about this, but owning partial player rights, like happens in Italy. Do you get a situation whereby Aston Villa could sell, I'm going to pluck somebody, Ben Bragio to Sheffield United, and Sheffield United buy 30% of his. And I suppose that probably already happens when you've got sell-on clauses. Maybe that's what happens with that. So I'm, maybe that's already happening. But I'm just spitballing here with regards to what happens in other countries, for how they do business. But yes, to answer your question, I'm not reticent to seeing loans come in. I want the squad to be improved for 2026, 2027 first and foremost. Sorry, 2025, 2026 first and foremost. And if it needs to be loan signings, well then so be it. Where are we? Alan, good to see you. Carlo Weather says, are we looking out for back three in these preseason? Need more centre backs for that, in my opinion. Absolutely, we need more centre backs for that. I'll be interested to see if we have a back three tonight, because the likes of it'll be interesting to see the likes, like, we don't even know the full list of, or sorry, I haven't seen, maybe it's been released. I haven't seen the full list of traveling players that have gone to the States. That would be nice to see if we could see that, because I would like to see if we are going to be looking at the likes of TJ Carroll going there, or that ilk of player, or are they staying at home to fulfill Villa 20s, 21s fixtures, at home. Interesting to see who's been elevated, I suppose, for the preseason. But that will very much dictate what our formation is, which isn't ideal. So I think the first place they're going to bring in somebody is in the defense department. I think they're going to wait for the striking and the attacker market to kind of simmer down slightly. Like the Isak shoot to drop is huge currently at the moment. Like that then unlocks whether Benjamin Sesko is going to move anywhere. Villa aren't going to obviously be in those markets, but other strikers are going to stay put until they know what the two futures of those two strikers hold. Obviously, you can fish in a different pool as well, whereby you look to sign, a young up and coming striker, or maybe we even have that in Zipaquino Redmond. So to answer your question, yes, we do need more centre backs, and that's exactly why I wanted to do a team sheet tantrum tonight, was to see if we could make any head nor tail of a back three at all today. But Villa seem to not want to release it yet. Or maybe I've gotten the day completely wrong. Maybe it is tomorrow, although I know it's not. Tomorrow at 12 that the game is on. This is an interesting one. So sell Ramsey and Bailey and bring in Harvey Elliott and Hutchinson from Ipswich. The reason, sorry, I didn't just like shut down or anything there. I was just trying to formulate how I was going to put this. That the out and out winger type of players that Harvey Elliott and Hutchinson are, I'm more of a fan of. But caveat is, I don't want to lose Jacob Ramsey to get either of those two guys in. I'd like to see if we could get away to bring. Well, I'm not 100% sold on Amari Hutchinson either. He's good. Don't get me wrong. I need him to be better than Brennan Johnson. Because they're going to want bonkers money for Amari Hutchinson. Bonkers money. They've got parachute payments. They've spent money on these guys. Like, put it this way: Amari Hutchinson you might need to spend. You couldn't need to spend close to 40 million on Amari Hutchinson. I think there's better value other places with 40 million, and unfortunately, we have to work in the value market. I think there's better value. Like, I could be wrong. I could be wrong on the valuation of Hutchinson. I just don't think Ipswich are in a position where they need to flog people like that. And I think that they can probably wait out for best value. Good player for sure. But again, my criticism of him was the same. Sorry, not my criticism. My apprehension for somebody like Amari Hutchinson was the same type of apprehension as I had for somebody like a Brennan Johnson. Obviously, they don't play the same position. Technically, don't play the same position. But I kind of needed. I would love if they'd stayed up and we could see Amari Hutchinson in the Premier League for another 6 months, so you could get a right good look at him again. His second season syndrome. Brennan Johnson knocked that one out of the park, obviously, with Spurs. Omari Hutchinson could very well do that, but I don't want to spend. Oh, I think we might have a team news up. I don't want to spend 35 million or whatever it is, and see and have to use that to. Sorry, I'm you know what I'm trying to say. It comes down to money for me. We have a team. Villa admin, stop doing the thing where you click on it and it brings you to a link to get you to sign up for the match. Don't do that. It annoys my brains, my small little brains at this hour of night. Let me share up the team there. Let me try and make this a small bit bigger. I've said that before. So there's our team for tonight. Bizot and goals. Cash, Mings, Tielemans, Buendia, and admin. Stop putting them in numerical order and stop putting it on a thing where you click it and it brings you to a link trying to sell you stuff. It'll be a long year, buddy. Admin, it'll be a long year between me and you if we are at this crack already in pre-season. Cut it out now. Go back to the old ways. Don't need any of that shit in my life. Please pass on that message if anybody knows who the admin is. Anyway, Bizot, Cash, Mings, Tielemans, Buendia, Watkins, Digne, Malen, Bogard, Ramsey, and Kamara. And just as I said, we're not going to go strong with the first 11. Boom. There goes Unai with his first, with a very, very decent first 11 there. You're looking at Cash, Mings, Bogard. And Digne. Yeah, that's probably what you're looking at there. Cash, Mings, Bogard, and Digne. You're going with Kamara and Tielemans, Buendia in the centre, Malen on the right, Ramsey on the left, and Watkins up top. Yeah, so we're going 4 at the back. I can't really see a 3 at the back there unless you're putting Kamara in there. Kamara, Bogard, Mings. Could it work? Absolutely could. Don't see it happening though. doesn't look like it. So here we go. The excitement of a tree at the back is gone out the window. The deflated balloon going across the room already. And it's only the first meaningful game. On the subs bench, we have Gauchi, Martinez, Kanza, McGinn, Torres, Inning Jr. Forgot all about him. Matson, Onana, Rogers, Bailey, Rowe. Great to see Tristan Rowe there. Great to see Travis Patterson there. Great to see Jim Oloba there. And great to see Yashin Oskan there as well. So a lot of questions, though, that we did ask answered there. Who travelled? I would imagine that you would just name everybody that travelled there. One of the big names that's not there. I'm just checking because it's 11:30 at night. No Barkley. No Barkley. Wonder did he travel? That's probably the big name that's kind of jumping out there for me. Wonder did Barkley travel? That's an interesting one for me. Does anybody know anything from there? I did get a message to say that from somebody asking if he'd been injured previously. Was he injured? Or did I hear of the rumor that he was injured and he was out for a couple of months? That's not ideal if that's the case. Same thing happened to him last year. Same thing happened to him the last time he was here. You know, not ideal. Not ideal. Moreno and Garcia left out as well. Good man. No Garcia. Yeah. And people saying Barkley got injured. Yeah, as well. I didn't hear that he got injured, so that's good news. Or not good news, but it's good to know. Sorry, Jesus, a Freudian slip there. I was reading another comment there that had the word news in it. So no, Barkley, don't sue me. I'm not saying it's good news that you got injured. I actually like you. I really wanted this to be a good year for you. But we thought we needed a player, needed you to step up. So I'm disappointed that you're injured. Garcia, yeah, no Garcia there. I wonder, did he travel again? Look, I wonder, are any of those players, Garcia, Moreno? Well, I don't expect Moreno to be here, but I wonder, did Garcia pick up a knock like you guys? Did he travel, pick up a knock or whatever? Why isn't he in there? Again, all questions to be answered. The way this is formulated, and unless you're going with Bogard is playing as a centre half here tonight. I can't see him playing anywhere else. He's playing as a centre half. Like, we're not playing. Yeah, no, he's playing as centre half. Yeah, we're like the only way I could see us changing up this is if Kamara does drop back and we have. But then again, you'll be more so going with a 3 who'll be midfield. Then there, Tielemans, Buendia in midfield. Tielemans, Buendia, and Ramsey in midfield, really, with Malin and Watkins up top. I mean, it could be that, but it's not. Like, you know, so there's the mind can overthink it a lot with stuff like this. So yeah, again, questions for the manager. Questions more so being, where's this lad? Where's that lad? And you know, what's the makeup? I'd be flabbergasted if Garcia was going out on loan or something. Like, whereas Adam says here, I'd be flabbergasted if Garcia was to go out on loan. Just makes no sense if that's the case. You're leaving yourself with one right back. Since you're 2 young right backs out, Tristan Rowe might turn into a fantastic right back. Might be better than Garcia currently. I don't know. That would be huge if we get 2 young fellas from that under-18 squad we had last year, or that youth squad into our first team rotation. Would be incredible from a PSR point of view, SCR point of view. But I don't want to be shipping out Garcia and trying it. You know, we want to be sure of it. And I'm sure there will be. Like, I don't think there's going to be a maverick behavior with this brain trust from that point of view. But yeah, there's our team. It's you guys can't really see it. I'll try and zoom in a small bit more. Oh no, zoomed in the wrong screen. Happens every time. Yeah, that's about as zoomed in as I can get it, guys. I do apologize. But it's Bizot, Cash, Mings, Tielemans, Buendia, Watkins, Dina, Malin, Bogart, Ramsey, Kamara, with a bench of Gauchi, Martinez, Konza, McGinn, Torres, Illing Jr., Matson, Onana, Rogers, Bailey, Tristan Rowe, Travis Patterson, Jim Oloba, and Yashin Oskan. Fix my screen over here. Yeah. Let's see where we are. Yeah, Paddy Kelly. Look at this guy. First time watcher, long time. First time commenter, long time watcher. I'd say that Paddy Kelly is. He's doing God's work. Hit the like button. Hit the like button, guys. Thanks a million. Scratch and Sniff says disappointed we might never see Barnechea, but please Dilling Jr. is amongst the squad. Yeah, look, I don't think we will see him. I think they've made a calculated guess again. I've mentioned this before. I think I was out in front of the Barnechea rumors and the sell-on clauses. Not that I'm any ITK, but I just took a shot in the dark at it. I think that if it is 30 to 35% like is being rumored, a sell-on clause, I think they took a shot at going, Benfica are really good at improving players' values. If we can get 30% or whatever he's flagged on for in the future, well, that could be an extra 10, 12 million, on top of the 13 that we already got, or the 3 million loan fee plus the 10 or the 12 million purchase fee or whatever. Paul Welford, great question. Where's Redmond gone? I don't know. I thought we might see him there. But it looks like Jimo Oloba is favoured. Looks like Jimo Oloba is favoured. Dean, is McGinn there? He is. McGinn is on the bench for sure. He's on the bench. I'm gonna go back there to yeah, a lot of people's asking where we can watch it. I think it might be it's only on Villa TV. I don't know of anywhere else to watch it. I don't know. Might be covered in some local markets in the US if you guys are that way inclined for streaming services and stuff like that, but I am not advocating that you do that. The Northern Donker, yeah, good stuff. Yeah. Yes, good call there, Chris. Let's get the Frankfurt team. Might as well, since we're killing time. Try and get you guys as close to 12 o'clock. I don't want anyone falling asleep on my watch. Don't want anybody falling asleep on my watch. Everybody's to stay awake. We're all in this together. If my young fella's going to wake me up at 4:45, like he did this morning, and I'm not getting to bed until at least till about 2 o'clock, well, then you're all in this with me, all right? Let's make that pact. Where are the lineups? Let's try foot. I'll try Twitter. That's the easiest way. I'll try and get the Frankfurt lineup for you guys. Frankfurt, actually, I didn't even talk about them at all. Incredible. Like, I know everyone's going on this, all these strikers for all this money, whatever. There's some men to be able to do reclamation projects on players. Like, I was a huge Andre Silva fan. They had him as a striker. Paddy Kelly will tell this story at some stage if we ever tell it. We know that we were this close to signing Andre Silva, and it never went across the line, and he ended up can't remember where he went after that for a finish, but he didn't come to. I know he went to Red Bull, went to Leipzig, but they sold him for a pile of money. They reclaimed him essentially. That was a reclamation project, and they've got Batshuayi is there with Frankfurt at the moment, and he's probably the reclamation project. They have a really good striker they signed from Mainz. Actually, really good. They've got two really good players. Let me do a little bit of a mini scouting series and two players that they have that I absolutely adore. One of them is Hugo Larsson, plays midfield, a Swedish player, really good. Watch out if he's playing today. He's a bloody good player. And they have a striker they signed from Mainz. He's a converted midfielder who went up top, Jonathan Burkhardt. I would have ate him up at Aston Villa. I mean, like, he's somebody that I really would have wanted Villa to sign, to come in and be that second striker, that other striker with Ollie Watkins, just because he's bloody good as well. So they're two big favourites of mine. I don't see the team sheets up for Eintracht Frankfurt. Can anyone point me in the direction of the Eintracht Frankfurt team sheet? Shout out where you saw it. Won't be there anyway. Yeah, we're on the same wavelength, Chris. We're on the same wavelength, Chris. For sure. Anybody seen Rory Wilson? Will he is still injured? Thought he might get. No, Rory Wilson is going to have to earn his stripes back in the academy. I don't think there's anything going to be handed to him. I know he got a 2-year deal, but I think that was very much. I would imagine the club very much stated that to him. You know, you got too big for your britches before. Let's see what happens. Like, you need to mend bridges. Again, this is just me talking through my hat, essentially, but it just smacks of that, I think. While I'm waiting to try and find this team, Villainous Bounty asked Neil if you could sign one player for this team this season. Who would it be? I'll think about that when I'm looking for the team. I've got favorites, like everybody here on the podcast knows that I have favorites. It's always going to be a striker as well. You know, when you're given an option to sign absolutely anybody, you have to go with a striker. Just have to go with a striker. But obviously, I presume you want somebody who's realistic. Jonathan Burkhart would have been up there. Really like him. I think I'm just going to go with my latest crush in Lucas Dassin. I just think he's perfect for this team. I just think Lucas Dassin will be perfect. I think you could play him 10. I think you could play him wide right. I think you could play him up top if you needed to. Just think he's a really good player. Really, really good player. So until I fall in love with somebody else, I'm going to go with Lucas Dassin. I can't find any team sheets. Did anyone find this team sheet? Anyone? The Frankfurt team is on X. I'm looking here and I don't tend to see it. I can't see it unless it's up on their German site. There it is. It's on the German page. Of course, I was looking at their international page. They don't have it there at all. And look at them. Look at this. You could learn an awful lot, admin. These sound chaps over at Frankfurt. Kevin Trapp in goals. Robin Koch, who we'll know from being at Leeds. Aurelia Amenda, this is going to test me. Angsar Knuf, Faris Shaibi, we were linked with him. Not a really interesting player. Really, really interesting player. We were linked with him at the start of this summer. I think we were linked with him in January as well. One to watch tonight. Rasmus Christensen, and I think was he at Leeds or was he at Leicester? I always get those. I think he might have been at Leeds. Hugo Larsson, we've mentioned before. Eliawai is another guy. He was a prodigious player, went to Marseille, didn't work out for him, has now ended up at Frankfurt again. Played 8 or 9 games. Don't think he scored from last season, but he's somebody there very much with a view to improving there. Niels Nkunku, if I remember rightly, I think he's a wing back. I think he's a defender. I could be wrong on that. Paxton Aronson and then Can Ozun. They've got Oscar Thiat. They've got Rasmus Højlund's brother on the bench as well. He's there as well. His first name escapes me at the moment. They got Michi Batshuayi. They've got Collins, the German. He's another German defender that's there as well. Another good player. Timothy Chandler as well. The American right back / right midfielder is on their bench as well. So they've gone with a strong enough team. They've gone with a pretty strong team, to be honest. Which are really pretty strong team. Interesting to see who starts up top there. No Jonathan Burkhart, unless I'm gone absolutely blind. No Jonathan Burkhart. So again, they've robbed us of 3 at the back, which was our excitement for Villa. They've robbed us of Jonathan Burkhart, which was my excitement for Frankfurt. Unless I'm gone blind and he's Maybe he might be going under a different name at the moment. I don't know, but we don't have him there either. So, yeah. So watch out for Hugo Larsson. Watch out for LEOI, and watch out for I can't pronounce his name. Faris Chivy as well. Two very another active, very very active player as well. British Mick. I found the team. The team is as follows: Frankfurter. Do you know what? I'm all for the dad jokes, British Mick. All for them. Their forward is mustard. Love it. Good stuff. Yeah. So look, I'll be honest. Seeing the two teams, we're going for this today, and as we should. This is a huge, once again, Villa are in the States. Villa are not in the States for the good of their health. Villa are in the States to make money. We're in the States to make coin. We're in the States to get into those more regional markets, the more soccer markets that are there. You know, we're in Louisville for a reason. We're going to Nashville for a reason. You know, and as as Kerry pointed out previously, there's an appetite for this stuff. Obviously, in the States, we're moving around. We're getting eyes on us. We're there to sign deals. We're there to explore markets. It's as much a marketing exercise as anything else. And I know you guys all know this. But the best way, do you know how you get people to fall in love with your club, or to keep taking interest in your club? Go away and beat Eintracht Frankfurt 3-0 tonight in the Lynn Family Stadium. Go away and beat them 3-0 tonight. Easier said than done, obviously. Would you go away and do that? Premier League, obviously, being an entity, being the entity that it is, maybe you pick up 400 or 500 Aston Villa fans, 6, 7, 8, 1,000 Aston Villa fans on your tour in the United States. That's 1,000 jerseys bought. I know it's small fry, but it's all about spreading the gospel, if you want to do that, if you want to call it that way. But the big thing here is you're exploring sponsorship markets, you're exploring investment markets. You know, that's why you're there. You're on the tour to talk to people who've got money. And the best way to impress people who've got money is to be a winning entity. And I expect Aston Villa to go out there and win this one today. Yeah. And I'm expecting nothing less in 20 minutes time when this game does kick off. What are your guys' thoughts on it? Do you guys I know, like, I actually think that Nashville, and I think that this one might be one that you could go hell for leather, and then you can maybe tinker a small bit more in the Nashville and the Louisville ones. Obviously, those two teams are mid-season currently at the moment, so they're going to be fresher. They're going to give you a hell of a game because they're in the All-Star team break at the moment. The All-Star game break, as we know, Messi getting suspended, along with Jordi Alba for not playing in that game. So they're going to give you a hell of a game. Interesting to see what happens here. Do we see the rolling 10 subs at some stage? Or do we see a coherent 11 go out and a coherent 11 finish? Really interesting to see what happens in that today. Is Michael Huggins says creating the mindset. Myself and Michael had a big long text thread out during the week about creating the mindset at Aston Villa and how we feel the mindset needs to be stronger. So yeah, go out and create it tonight. Go out and create it tonight as well. Right. I am going to pop back inside to watch the game, but to do that, I need to leave you guys. I've pretty much been sitting in this chair since bloody about 10:15 today. So I'm over 12 hours nearly in this chair, and he got up to use the bathroom, I think. But so yeah, I think I need to go and stretch the legs. Sorry, Michael, I didn't go for my run today. I apologize. Michael's been my performance coach at the moment. But yeah, listen, there won't be a post-match podcast for obvious reasons because it's going to be like 2:00 in the morning. But we'll jump on. I'll try and jump on again tomorrow. Well, I'll definitely jump on tomorrow and we'll discuss the game For those of you maybe that stay up to watch it, or for those of you that didn't, or those of you maybe catch the highlights back in the morning, we'll discuss it tomorrow. And see what comes of it, see who the good performers were, and maybe the people who need to put up their socks as the rest of the tour goes on. But thanks so much to everybody. Jesus, we had 2,000 people in here at one stage. Christ, we had over 2,000 people in here at one stage. Thank you so much to everybody. If you're not a follower of the podcast already, just click on the thumbs up button here. Click on the subscribe button. Costs you nothing to do. And if you just like listening to Villa Podcasts on audio, on the audio platforms, follow us there as well. You know, we throw everything up on audio platforms as well. Whichever floats your boat. You know, we'll be able to meet you where you watch your podcasts or listen to your podcasts. That is my motto for the coming year. So yeah, if you're new to this, give us a follow. We'd love to have you along, and we will be here for every single Aston Villa game as and when it happens in this preseason. So thanks a million, everyone. I'm going to leave you get to it. 17 minutes just before kickoff. Get yourself a drink. Maybe you might have time to make yourself a sandwich or cook something for yourselves, and hunker down for this midnight game. And we'll catch you again tomorrow. Stay safe, stay healthy, and all that's left to say is up the